Okay, so we have the last speaker today. We have Geeta Ganesh from Taylor's Road, and so beautifully connecting. You can see all the topics are getting connected today. The ethics is also on emotional quotient, and Aishwarya also talked about how the child gets activated when you're taking outside classroom. Emotional quotient is tapped when you're working on that. And she also talked about the good stress, which is needed. If there is no stress, we will not work, we will relax. So some good stress is needed. And Geeta is going to talk about the bad stress, which has become very, very viral in our schools. Any child you ask, they ask exam stress. They say exam, depression. And then it leads to depression. And to some extent, children even committing suicides and all of that. Should classroom provide that stress? How do we think about it? How do we look at it? We are not here to create that situation to children that they get into mentally unwell, because stress is a kind of a unwell mind, right? So why teaching should become that? Why education should make them become sick? Instead of giving treatment for the diseases, it is becoming creating a disease in the minds of the children. Are we to do that? What are we going to do? Comes the Geeta is there, and Meena ma'am will introduce her, and then we will listen to her.
Geeta Ganesh has an MCom, an MSc, an MPhil, and an MEd, and she's the vice principal at the Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Kilpauk. And today she is going to be sharing with us how to handle stress management in schools. A little about Geeta herself. She's an excellent team leader who is diligent in planning and executing tasks. She is very quick and vigilant in taking right decisions at pressing situations, and very spontaneous in providing solutions, as problem solving is her domain. And she's participated in several workshops conducted by the education cell itself. Being a math teacher, she's been part of the Ganit Goshti. She's also been part of the first earlier Chinmaya Parichaya, Chinmaya Netritva, and she has conducted and been part of orientation workshops with the Chennai Sahodaya, and she has also attended workshops on developing new syllabus for higher secondary mathematics conducted by SCERT Tamil Nadu. And she's an in-service training teacher for courses conducted by CBSE. And some of the achievements that she has on her sleeve are, one is she's been conferred with an appreciation certificate from the Education Minister, Ms. Smriti Irani, in the year 2015 for producing excellent results in the board examination. She's helped in producing 100% results in the 12th board examination for the past 27 years. And she was presented with the International School Award by the British Council for the year 2013 and in 2016 as well. She's also submitted a Chinmaya Samshodhan project, which spoke about bullying, positive reinforcement, etc. And of course, she excelled in that research. She received the Best Teacher Award from the Chennai Sahodaya, and she's an additional head examiner for mathematics in class 12 for class 12 and the CBSE board examination. She's currently the head examiner also in the same, and she has been appointed as subject expert by CBSE for class 12 mathematics board examination as well. So many outstanding achievements. She's got an outstanding educator award and a lot of community service that she has done. She's received awards for that. So I'm going to request Geeta ma'am to take over and talk to us about how to handle stress in the classroom. Over to you, ma'am.
Hari Om, Mama. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you so much. Hari Om.
Yeah.
Actually, for the first two speakers, we're talking about how to about the ethics and outside the book and things like that. Now, in order to implement those things, first of all, we need the stress release. We should get our stress released. If as teachers, we are going to build the nation for the future. If we are stressed out, we will not be able to produce a good result or handle the students. So this is the alarming result given by the American Psychological Association. Stress is defined as a response to internal or external pressures that can affect mental and the physical health. So stress is going to affect us in various levels. According to the World Health Organization, 75 to 90% of doctor visits are based on stress-related conditions. And work-related stress, nearly 80% of employees are globally affected because of this stress. And 250 plus million people suffer from anxiety and depression. 50% of world population is affected in some form of the other. And this is an data given by World Health Organization. So that means really we have to work on these areas. If as a teacher, if we are going to be stressed out, we will not be able to transact very well inside the classroom. So stress is a physical and emotional strain. And according to the American Psychological Association, stress is a part of our life and we cannot get around it. Many of us misunderstand stress. And we are not handling stress in an effective way, because of which we are facing illness ranging from heart disease to Alzheimer's disease. Reducing stress and handling it in an effective way can solve many problems and make us live longer and disease-free, peaceful life. And here this picture gives you some of the physical signs of stress: back pain, upset stomach, tight muscles, and etc. Then we have to understand what are the reasons, which are the stressors which are giving the stress to the teachers. So this is in general, which is giving us stress. As a classroom situation, we have to be, we are stressed out because of various reasons. And there are many stressors which are creating stress to us. The first one is heavy workload. As Amma already said, lesson planning, grading, administrative task, everything is stressing us more. And classroom management is again a big task. Balancing discipline and positive environment also makes us gives more problem, because nowadays children are highly knowledgeable, and the way when we are entering the class, bringing them under our control and bring the discipline is again a big problem. And the student performance, the pressure is there from all the sides for us, because we have got a single child. Every family nowadays have got a single child, and the parents are working parents, and they are not able to spend quality time with the children. So all the burden comes on the school and the teachers. So once they pay the money and send the child to the school, they expect everything to be done by the school and the teacher. This is adding more stress to the teachers. And parental expectations, high expectations from the parents and meeting their demands is also creating more stress to the teachers inside the classroom. And a time constraint, completing the portions on time, preparing the question paper, assessment, and managing so many other things, examination, portion completion, and giving revision. All those things are adding stress to the teachers. And changing curricula. Very often CBSE is changing the curriculum, and the examination system is getting changed, and the question paper pattern, the way we train the children for maths. Previously for the maths and all, for class 12, we never used to have MCQs. Now, for past 2 years, they have introduced MCQs, and as teachers, we ourselves were not trained to train the students for MCQs. Now, it is becoming a big problem for us. Emotional toll, supporting students' personal issues affects the teacher's mental health. More and now, in every class, we have around 8 to 10 single parenting. Single parents. So the emotional problems the child is facing at home, they are expressing those emotions in school. So there again, it is very difficult for the teachers to handle. These things add stress to the teachers. So since teacher is an integral part of the child's growth, first teacher should be stress-free. And the next one is, first we saw about the statistics about stress and what are the things which are affecting the teachers in the classroom. And now the next one, we are going to discuss about the contributing factors. Which are the contributing factors? First one is poor planning. as teachers, we should know how to plan effectively and how to transact in the classroom. Poor planning will affect our classroom transaction, which adds stress to the teachers. And because we are not, if we are not planned, we will get overwhelmed and we will not be able to transact. Some small trigger can create stress in us. And poor time management, juggling multiple tasks and deadlines without proper time management will give more problems. And the next one is difficulty in saying no. This is one skill teachers have to learn now, because we all the time budge to anything and everything. We have not
Harima.
learned to say no. Some higher up is asking us to do something.
Harima.
In spite of having so many other works piled
Okay.
up, we immediately budge for do things, and that becomes our priority, and our priorities takes a back seat. So there again, our work is getting affected. Not being mindful. Neglecting self-care practices, mindfulness, not living in the present. When we are inside the classroom, we have to, that 40 minutes is given to us as a gift, and let us transact properly, live in the present, and do justice to whatever we are doing. That is not happening. Sometimes what happens is we do some problem in the class on the board. By the time the child copies, we sit and do some other work. So both the works are not getting happening, and not setting boundaries. We should know to set a boundary. Being friendly with the child and being a friend is a different. We should draw, there is a silver line between them. If we are going to be more friendly, that will make a positive impact. But once you become a friend of a child, that child may not understand us, and he might exceed his limits. So that also will create a problem in our understanding, and that create more stress. And of course, as teachers, we very often neglect our physical health, because physical health is the last priority which we give in our life. And at the age of 40, 45, it is really very difficult for us to handle the class, because students are so young and energetic, and to handle them, we should be physically stronger. And the next one is procrastination. This is delaying the task. And this is one habit which over a period of time, it is getting accumulated. We will do it today, tomorrow, some other sudden work will come, and we don't know to say no. And we will do unproductive work, and important things we procrastinate. That also will add stress. And holding preconceived notions about the child. This is very, very important. Forming judgments without sufficient evidence can result in unfair treatment. Sometimes this happens mostly in the staff room. We gossip about the student inside the classroom. All the handling teachers will sit and gossip. With the preconceived notion, I enter into the class, and the child may not be like that in my class. But then again, with the preconceived notion, I treat the child in a different way. That will create more stress to both of us. That also has to be that is also one of the reason. And the other one is the displaced anger. Many a times we do this. We are angry with so many things which we will not be able to show to outsiders, whereas we just like that show it to our children. And the family also, it happens. We do everything so stressfully in the office, school, and when we come back, we show our anger and our frustration and all those things to our children. That also is one of the factors. And multitasking, our brain is not tuned or wired to do multitasking. Teachers, please avoid multitasking. None of the tasks will be perfect in that case. We think we'll be able to do 2 or 3 things. Very rarely gifted people can do that multitasking. In general, don't practice multitasking. That will drain your energy unnecessarily, and it will add more stress to you. So these are all the factors which are adding stress to us. The next one is how to reduce. Now, some of the techniques we should understand. These are all the factors. In general, what I found over a period of time in my experience, these are all the factors which is causing stress. And now we have to think about some of the techniques which we can use to reduce the stress in the classroom. First thing is KYC. KYC is know your child. Know the child individually by his name. call him by his name, that itself will add a morale in the child. And understand the background of the child. Understanding family background can provide valuable insight into students' behavior. This I realized last month. I went for a Parag as a Parag observer. There I was an observer as for a government school students. So some 30 students, they have to fill so many data. In that, 4 or 5 students said, "Ma'am, I don't have a father or a mother." So that same day when I came to my school, I was discussing with my children that see how we are blessed with a nice family, nice parents, nice school and things like that. Suddenly one child started crying. "Ma'am, I lost my father last month or 2 months back." So unknowingly, I thought I was motivating my students by talking about whatever has happened outside without knowing our school, our class child who was affected. So if you understand the background of the child and what are the traumas, now children are undergoing so many traumas. So we have to really talk to them and make them understand. And the next one is understanding the strength and the weaknesses of the students. That is also very important. The stoppers, anyhow, they will get good marks and they'll go. Only the children who are in the mediocre, they will be strong at something. Identify those things, acknowledge, appreciate, use them. They are the ones who will come back as students and appreciate us or wish us. And any day there are 2 eyes which will be watchful. Wherever you go, whether you go to a shop or a mall or an airport or wherever you go, there will be a student watching you. So let us be an inspiration to the student, and the way we talk, the way we walk and conduct ourselves, not only inside the classroom, outside the classroom, in a mall or outside. Teacher is a teacher throughout her life. So wherever you are, you may not identify the child. The child will know who you are. So always there are some watchful eyes. So let us be an inspiration to the people around us, and that will create a more bonding with the children. That is very, very important. The next one is empathy. We have to show genuine empathy on the child. That is very, very important. And building a trusting relationship. Keep promises. We have to keep promises. I am going to give the papers tomorrow means whatever happens, I have to give the papers to them. I am going to conduct a test. Suddenly we will announce a test and we will forget. Child will take it. That day the child will be very happy. But the next, they will go outside the classroom and talk. She forgot and we also. So if we are not going to keep up the promise, we will lose respect from the students. And be punctual to the class. Otherwise, no children will chill. That moment they'll be very happy. 15 minutes. If the teacher comes late, they'll enjoy. But end of the day, they'll say, the miss always she'll come late only. No, what big deal. So if you have to command respect, once you get that respect, automatically you will lose you won't feel stressed in the classroom. And then prepare thoroughly. Now, as Swamiji said, we have to be more strong in our subject. We have to explore, learn outside the subject, whatever we can do. Current affairs we should know, because a child will get interested if we are going to do something extra. Because everything is, whichever is there in the textbook is available everywhere. Parents are so rich, they can appoint a tutor to teach whatever is there in the textbook and prepare them for the board examination or any examination for the matter. But what extra we are going to give inside the classroom, the values which we are going to practice, they are not going to learn from what we are going to talk, what the way we conduct ourselves, way we behave to the students. That only is going to be very, very important, and they learn by seeing. So that value system we have to give them. And be approachable. Sometimes we don't know there is a myth. If I am very strict in the class, if I am if I raise my voice, that time only I will get respect. Nothing of that kind. If you are really empathetic and if you are approachable, any child will come. In fact, children of different classes also might come to you with a problem and you can solve. So if that bonding is created, I think handling stress will be an easier way. And incorporating humor. We need not be all the time very rigid. have some humor, bring some humor. Whatever Swamiji said, no, whatever we are seeing, if there is a movie, if you are watching there, if something related to the classroom, let us talk. If there is a match yesterday, if there is a cricket match or whatever it is, whatever is happening outside, current affairs, you should know that too the classes 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. If you are going to talk to them current affairs, children will be, they will come to our control. Once they are in our hands, then it is not going to be that difficult for us to handle them with the stress is not going to be there anyhow. The next one is managing stress, a holistic approach. So this is not for the teachers alone. In general, as humans, we should have some holistic approach to manage stress. One is positive self-talk. Don't always think about this negative things are happening or how much ever I do, this is only happening. No, don't have such ideas. We are in this world today. We are alive today. Itself is a great blessing. So always have some positive talk and surround yourself with positivity and with the positive people. You are an average of 5 people with whom you are working with. So, identify that good 5 people, because that is going to reflect your character also. So keep connect some supportive colleagues, friends and family who will promote positive energy and well-being. And writing a gratitude journal is one more thing which I strictly follow every single day morning. Get up and be thankful for at least 4 or 5 things in this world you are thankful for. So that will give more sense of happiness and peace inside. Once we are peaceful inside, we'll be able to transact very effectively outside without any stress. And one more thing is, don't expect anything from anybody. The expectation creates more stress. So without expectation, our Sureka Amma in our Gita class used to say, don't even expect a smile from others for doing anything great for them. So this is the world, let us accept the factor. And the physical exercise, go for walk, do some yoga, meditation and things like that. And go for gardening. These are some of the tips for stress management. Manage your time, meditation, spending some time with nature, listen to music, talk with friends. This is a very, very important thing. Don't talk to random people, anybody and everybody who comes in front of you. You don't tell all your problems. That will only aggravate your problems. Identify a true friend. 1 or 2 is enough. They go to them, and once you know that they will give you a proper solution, you talk to them. Otherwise, no, 99% of people will feel very happy if you are stressed or if you are unhappy. So don't go and talk to everybody and anybody. Identify few people. If you are not able to identify a best friend, go to a counselor. Every school has a counselor. You can go talk to them and make people make the counselor understand what you are going through. And if you are happy with yourself, you will be able to transact very effectively in the classroom. And the next one is the serenity prayer. This is a prayer which everybody can chant. God grant me the serenity to accept the things which I cannot change, courage to change the things which I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So we are trying to change things which are not possible at all. Let us accept the fact. There are certain things which we cannot change. Let us accept, and we should also have the courage to change the things which we have under control. Always when we go for this Netritva program, Dr. Sandil said, try to pluck the low-hanging fruits. Low-hanging fruits are the ones which you can have a control. Certain decisions which you will not be able to take without the higher authorities' support or permission. There are few things which you can do on your own, which you can do inside the classroom, outside the classroom. Be courageous to do such things to bring change in the life of the child. And we should also have the wisdom to know the difference between what is right and what is wrong and what we are having a control. As teachers, we are very limited with the limited resources, how well we can transact with the student and how you can bring change in the young minds matters. And stress busters. The next one is stress busters. there is a myth that stress is same for everybody. It is not the same for everybody. It is each one has experienced stress in a different way. For me, cooking is the biggest stress. For somebody else, cooking is a stress buster. So everybody should identify their own stress busters. I should have at least 4 or 5 stress busters. Singing a song is a stress busters for me. I cannot sing on the inside the classroom or in the airport or wherever I go. I cannot do that. So you have to identify those things which are going to be a stress buster. Practice that. So if you are going to be outside in a crowd, how are you going to manage your stress? So mindfulness practices, practice mindfulness techniques to become more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and promoting calmness. Sit in one place, introspect what happened today. Today night, I will sit and introspect the reflection. As Shanti Amma said, reflection is very, very important. What went well today? What did not go well? How I can make the correction in that? Those are all the things you have to work and improvise. Every day is a learning for a teacher. Once I finish my degree and I got a job, I cannot settle. And 27 years of my experience is only years. It is not that every year, every day, it is going to be a learning. So let us be with an open mind, learn it and engage in some hobbies. Actually, this corona has given an option for us having more hobbies, because 2 years of lockdown has created more hobbies in the people. So have something like that and have a social connection also. Connect with the friends, loved ones. Always building a good relationship is very, very important too. You should have some listening ears to express your anxiety and get out of all those things. And nature walk is also one of the ways to get rid of all these things. As Swamiji said, learn more, learn new skills, update yourself. Wherever there is an opportunity, use it properly to upgrade yourself. And the child should love you first, then only he will love your subject. So you should be a teacher who is so lovable and get your things. So have a positive outlook. Teachers play a crucial role in shaping the future. By prioritizing self-care, fostering positive relationships, and creating a supportive learning environment, teachers can effectively manage stress and continue to inspire and empower the next generation. So this is what I can say about stress handling. Amma, thank you, Hari Om.
Thank you, Geetama. That was so beautiful, very insightful. I think all the teachers must have enjoyed and learned a lot about how to handle stress in the classroom and in their own lives also. You touched upon every little thing that I thought was important. So thank you very much. And sorry, because I ran the slides a little super fast and you kind of caught up with that speed. I like that as well. Thank you so much.